Hi, hello chess lovers. I'm here again with another book from my library, from my collection of books on schackbörsen.se, which are on sale if you're interested. This is a very interesting book by Winning Chess by Middlegames by Ivan Sokolov, a very famous grandmaster, and he has written quite many books. And the foreword to this book is written by Michael Adams, which was a friend of his, and they were friends in the 80s already and played against each other and with each other and met each other and discussed all about chess that time. And this book is from New in Chess 2008, and here he discusses pawn structures in the middle game. And as you already know, pawn structures are different, and it depends on which opening you choose, and it also make a difference if you get the open games or a half open game or a closed games. So the pawns are, as you already know, the soul in chess, and that is the focus of this book: how to get good middle games out of the pawn structures they create in the opening. And he has divided in different chapters like this, and depending on which pawn structure you get, your pieces will get optimal places on different parts of the board, depending on how the pawn structure looks like. So it starts with introduction, Michael Adams, forward by Michael Adams, and then introduction from Sokolov, and then in chapter 1, the double pawns, how they increase on the games. Very interesting. 12 essential structures about double pawns. In the next part, you have isolated pawn. There are also very, very interesting and very famous. Many talks about isolated pawns and think it gets advantage, but it's not always the case. Sometimes it can help to attack as well. Anyhow, chapter 2 is very interesting about isolated pawns. And then you have another part which is much discussed in chess, and that is hanging pawns. And hanging pawns can be good, strong, or weak. Many people talks about weak hanging pawns, but they can also help and be strong because they can change further on in the game. And then in the fourth chapter you have pawn majorities, and we all know about the queen majority against the minority on the king side in pawn endings and so forth. But he is going further and he talks about pawn majorities as well, even in the middle game, and how it creates these differences. So this book is for all players. It's about the middle game, and the way you choose your openings will also a bit decide how the pawn structure will be in the middle game, and that will further on also dictate how the ending will look like. So it's a deep subject, and it's a very important subject, how you can increase your middle games through the pawn structure. And if you get to know pawn structures in your favorite openings, you have an advantage when you play the game against your opponent. So I firmly recommend you to buy this book or to take a look at it, because it's a formidable book about pawn structures, about how it creates initiative in the middle game, and how openings dictate the pawn structures. So I can really recommend this book. Thank you very much.